I apologize for the theatric.
Hold on, y'all. Eating or doing something, I'd be like, let me go ahead and do a message. Okay, I've been guided to speak some truth about a situation that occurred when I lived in Fort Worth. I know you guys are aware of the documentations that I've proved to you guys. Okay. During this situation, I stayed in Fort Worth on Meadowbrook Drive. I believe my ID still says Meadowbrook Drive. Not coincidence. Okay. I'm going to give you guys that direct address. They keep telling me, oh, they got that, they got that, they got that. I don't care. I'm going to fulfill it. Yeah, 5959 Meadowbrook Drive, Fort Worth, Texas. It does not have my apartment unit on there. It don't have my apartment number on there, but I will say, like, as soon as you drive in to the main entrance, excuse me, I stayed in they tell me it was 211. I'm not really sure if it was 211, but I will describe where my unit was at. So when you walk up the sidewalk, you make a right. When you make a right, you're gonna walk a little bit up further to get to the apartment, my unit. So there's maybe a unit down, two or three units downstairs to your right. Okay, they have some stairways to upstairs to the unit, right? So you walk up the stairway from walking in from the middle. From the middle, you have to turn a right or a left. Turn right. Okay, you're gonna see some section of stairways to the right. Okay. When you see those stairways, you walk right up those stairs. My apartment is the apartment. As soon as you walk up the stairs, it's straight ahead. Can't miss it. Okay, that's the unit that I stayed in. Okay. At that unit, I experienced a lot of things. A lot of situations occurred there. A lot of racist things happened. And I was actually kind of, how would I say this? I was actually spiritual threatened by this guy today. Yeah, they made it be known, but I'm here to tell my truth. Okay, I was racially profiled. Very much so. I was damn sure racially profiled. Well, how can I start? I first moved in, I had a good friend of mine. Her and her husband helped me move into place. Okay, I had some furniture. I believe I had the stuff in a storage. And I ended up moving my stuff from the storage to my house. Okay, moved my little things in the house, getting prepared, trying to get my kids back from the state. I did everything I was supposed to do. Actually, I had a job. I was working at this place, IRON. It's a motel. Okay. I used to go. I worked just about all the time. Actually, when I worked there, I would actually be woken up out of my sleep. I can't tell a lie. And what I'm about to say is what's happening here. So just bear with me when I speak my truth about the situation. When I went through this situation, my first 2-3 weeks living there, I noticed that I was being woken up my sleep, but I didn't feel harm from that person. I felt like it was peace. Okay, they came to peace and they would wake me up by tapping my feet, my ankle. They would wake me up and tap my ankle for me to get up for work. And sometimes I'll be like, oh my God. I just be kind of still tired, but I can feel someone waking me up. And the feel of it was like, don't worry about who it is. You okay? Don't worry about Who's waking you? Is this you're being awoken? You're being up. And I wouldn't even really pay attention at it at all. I ignored it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but I knew deep within me somebody was waking me up. Okay, I didn't feel danger. I didn't feel harm or whatnot or have you. So I wake up, get myself prepared for work, and they're trying to show me. They're trying to remember how the house looked. Yeah, they're searching me. Oh my God, you dirty bitch! They're searching me to find out how the house looked in the inside. Okay? And yeah, they're like, yeah, I got you. So they're showing me my I had a hold on, I'm trying to think. I'm being a little flabbergasted here. Okay? Wow. I'm just tripped out how they try to spiritually search for how the house looked. I'm triggered. I'm not gonna say triggered, but I'm just like, what? So I had um like a hot, not a hot heater stove. I had like a fireplace, okay, but it was one that was built, not built in, but it was one that like you could carry, okay. And I had that in my living room, and my house was really actually nice, okay. I had, yeah, it was nice. But all that to say, um, I would lay on my couch. My couch was a round couch, and I used to lay like long ways on the couch, but I laid towards the wall. Okay, it was turned towards the wall, like, and then I laid on the couch, and I remember him waking me up, tapping my legs. So my my how would I say this? My couch was facing the wall. What I'm about to say is gonna make sense. I'm not gonna skip parts, but I just want this to make sense. Um, my couch was facing the wall. Okay, boom. So I'll get up, go to the bedroom, go get my clothes on, get dressed, get ready for work. I'll leave. At that time, I had a town and country, a van, nice white van. Okay, I'll go to work, and sometimes I'll just be waiting for time because I know the traffic will be heavy. So sometimes I wouldn't be able to pray in the home. I would pray and worship in my car. It's been one time where I stopped at a Coca-Cola place, not too far from the job, like right around the corner from the job. And I would pray in that parking lot every morning. And sometimes I'll forget. Sometimes I'll pray on the way to work. And I wouldn't stop there. But I even prayed for the truck drivers. So any of them truck drivers, hey, you had somebody that was praying for you when you was over there loading up them trucks. Okay? When you was getting ready to come in and for them to pick up your items, those drinks, I was in that parking lot praying for you. Okay? It was me. Hey, how you doing? I was praying. I prayed for people that was coming in and out or whatnot. I prayed for myself and my situation. Okay? And I would leave out and I would go to work and whatnot or have you. So I had issues at that job. I worked my ass off. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Before I even got my place, I was staying at a friend's house. Okay, and I don't know if she's gonna watch this video, but I'm not gonna expose you because you was like a mom to me. So I want to say, hey, if you watching my video, I hope you know I'm talking about you. Okay, and she was a sweetheart. I liked her a lot. Anyways, I'm not gonna go too deep into all that, but during the situation, y'all, I end up going back and forth to work. All right, and I would be woken up out my sleep by this guy. But I did, like I said, I didn't know who it was. Okay, keep that in mind. I didn't know who it was. So as time went on, I had ended up getting a caseworker, CPS worker that was working my case. Y'all, I prayed, I cried, I prayed. Sometimes I would walk in the house and just fall on the floor. Like I can sense people come in my house. I knew their spirit wasn't right, and I fell. Oh God, I fell on the floor, and I would just cry and crawl, and I leave my door wide open. I didn't care. I was like, God, take me as I am. I would cry and I would crawl on the floor and I would pray. I would throw up saliva out my mouth. And some way, somehow, I end up opening the back door because I had got so overheated for praying and crying and praying and praying and crying. from my situation and my kids. And one day, um, the worker came. You know, she was telling me what I needed to do. I had got bunk beds. I had put the beds up. I did everything I was supposed to do, whatnot, what have you, and everything was fine. She told me don't give my hopes up. You know, things might can change, but you know, if it's all very done, I mean, if it's all said and done, I need you to. I'm giving you an option. Okay, one of the options was I said, oh, okay, what is it? You know, and she was like, well, the kids can stay in the custody. You won't lose your right, but they'll just stay at this facility and at this placement because they had already knew that these people in that Fort Worth County was going to take my kids. My case was placed in Decatur. Okay, my case was in Decatur, Texas. I had no case in Fort Worth, no case whatsoever. Okay, these people knew what was going to happen. Okay, they was trying to protect my kids, but see, when you don't know or understand what's going on and you fight to get your children, okay, those are the type of things that happen. So I love my kids so much. I was like, no, that's not going to happen. You know, I didn't take the offer, but let me complete it. Let me complete the offer. Now the offer was my kids to stay in the group home out of CPS custody, but just for that to be a placement for them to stay until they turn 18 or until I get in a better place or whatnot have you. So I was like, what will be the option? What will my options be if I say yes or no? She said, well, you can see them every day. You can come every weekend. It'll be certain timings. She said they can have weekends with you. They can go with you on the holidays, things like that. I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, I don't want to do that. I know my kids want to come home. They want to come home. And I'm not going to put my kids in that situation to stay in care. Now, this young lady, I don't remember her name. I don't remember her name. I'm not going to exaggerate her name. I'm not going to act like I know her name or remember her name. I don't remember the lady's name at all. Okay? That's divine truth. But I will say this. She tried to play me. And that was the wrong thing to do. So the second visit, she came to see if I had the bunk beds up in the house. Okay, she looked around. She seen I had gospel music on. I was in the godly mood. You know, I was thinking positive. I wasn't thinking negative. She saw that the gospel was on. She came, and I turned it down, and she started getting into the gospel music. And then, you know, I just started to, you know, I'm not a person of judgmentalness, but you know a person that has been there to know the little gospel songs. That's cool and all, but I don't like to play when it comes to God. So I just cut the music off because, you know, we're doing business. So I just wanted to keep it professional because I didn't feel the need to be friendly about a situation that was coming to me to be suspicious. Okay, I started to become aware. You know, I started seeing where God was really paying attention. I was paying attention to God. God was separating me from the young lady that was helping me. Okay, so let me back up because I was working now. Okay, so in this timing, this lady came to my home. She was about to get ready to place my kids home in my custody. Okay, so she did something that was very, very wrong. When she came in, she stood by the door. I'm like, no, you don't have to stand there. And by the door is, you know, my house, every apartment I ever had, my furniture is always by the door. Like my couch was, I had a round couch, so my couch was circle round, like a love couch. It's circled like an L, went around like an L. Okay, and it always started at the door. Okay, and the couch was right by the door, and she stood by the couch in the door, and she was standing there. I'm like, no, you don't have to stand there. Like, you know, you come sit down. But I'm not knowing that she's just standing there. And I'm like, why are you standing there? Like, come on, I had a table, so she can sit at the table. I go to the table. She sits there, and we're doing the documentations or whatever, and she's basically letting me know like this is going to be okay. You know, if you talk to kids, that you have regular visits, this, that, there, how the visits go. You know, you're not supposed to talk about these certain things in the visitations. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. She's like, well, don't tell the kids anything. You know, we're going to do we're going to set up appointments for the kids to come home. This, that, and third. I'm like, okay, that's fine, cool. But during that situation, y'all, previous to that, I ended up having an experience where I went for a visit. Okay. When I went for a visit, my kids, I went in the office and she was saying how the kids kids were saying that we don't have, she's not our caseworker no more, mama, da da da. I said, yes, she is. No, no, I'm skipping it. I'm skipping the part. They corrected me. Oh, damn. Damn, they corrected me. She's, okay, the debit card was on the floor. When she left, I noticed the debit card was on the floor. I picked it up. I have the same banking company. It's called Bank of America, okay? And I called immediately, called the office and was like, hey, such and such left her card. Can you tell her to come get it? So they were like, oh, what? She left the card? I was like, yeah. I was like, no. I was like, yes, ma'am. She just left my house. And she left the card. She was like, okay, I'll give her a call. So the lady called her. I called the lady, the worker. And I said, hey, you left your bank card here. I said, you need to come get it. I don't feel comfortable with your bank card in my home. So she was like, oh, well, I'm down the street. I'll come get it later or next time. I'm like, no, that's, I said, it'll be in my Bible, and I put it in my Bible. Never used the card. I automatically knew what was going on. So I automatically start praying against her. I prayed so hard, I asked God to remove her off my case because I don't play like that. You're not gonna know. We're not doing that. I don't know what type of people used to dealing with or whatnot or what have you, but I don't play like that. So I'm gonna tell you what I did. I was the CPS worker supervisor reported that. They said what they needed to say. Next thing I knew, I was told she was being released off my case, but I wasn't told like that. When I went to the case, it was my busy, my children, the CPS workers, the CPS worker told me what my business was. I walked through my children, and at the time my kids are literally saying, Mama, she's no longer working on our case. I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What you mean she doesn't working on our case? They was like, yeah, Mama, she don't work with us no more. I said, stop saying that. The lady in here, they watching us through the mirror because it was a mirror in the room where we were visiting at. And I know, now remind you guys, she said we couldn't talk about nothing about the case to the children. So to me, that was a part of the case. Okay, and I was like telling my kids, y'all stop talking like that. Stop, don't be quiet, y'all know what to talk about. Or whatever. So she came in and she said, no, Miss Stewart, they're right. They're telling the truth. She said, excuse me, y'all can barely see me. She said, no, Miss Stewart, they're telling the truth. She said, I no longer work on the case. Evidently, I need more professionalism, okay? Meaning she need more training or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So I'm the type of woman, when I pray about something, I won't give God praise. Okay, and I would I stood in one spot and I started thanking God because she was going to be a problem for me on this case. Okay, behind the scenes, this man and my family members working with these CPS caseworkers, this woman didn't want to take the lead and do whatever they wanted her to do. So actually, she just made her way off the case, pure point blank. So I got another caseworker. Okay, she was a tall, heavy-set lady. Okay, these people, I'm gonna tell you how quick the system is. I end up moving from that place. I think it was that was the first place I had. 5959 Meadowbrook was the second residence that I had when I lived out there. The first place that I had was down the street from there, which was I don't remember. I don't remember that address at that house. Well, at the apartment. That's the very first apartment that I moved at. And I don't remember, but I know that that woman came to that residence as well. But at the 5959 Meadowbrook Drive, it was a lot that occurred there. So during this timing that the lady was moved off the case, my kids ended up coming home to me. Okay, while my kids come home to me, when my kids got ready to come home, they did a walkthrough through the house and did what they're supposed to do, and my kids came home or whatever. And I think they came home around Christmas time, and whatnot, what have you. And during these times that they came home, I was starting to have problems with the neighbor. Okay, The first accident that happened with my son, and he was young. Um, it was a picture that I had on my wall. It flew. He flew the picture off the wall, and it hit my son on the hand. Okay, one of my children on the hand, and it was just like, ouch. And I'm looking at the whole thing. I'm like, how the fuck did that thing fly all the way over there on him? Yes. So y'all, the couch was right by the door. My son sitting on that couch, but he's like sitting like in between the couch, like not, you know how you got two cushions, right? He's sitting in between the two cushions, so he's not sitting all the way on both of the seats. He's sitting all the way on one seat. He's sitting on both seats at the edge of the seat because we're about to get ready to leave out at the house. And I said, I'm looking at him. He's not paying no attention. He's a kid. You know, he's in the game. He's playing the game on his phone. You know, on his little thing, DS or whatever. So after that experience, I just kind of was like, okay, I brushed it off. After a while, okay, I guess they're done. So after a while, we started noticing the first situation that happened from them throwing the mirror, picture down. From that moment, I started having. It was snowing one night. It was snowing real hard, and I believe we were all laying down in the living room, and they started throwing shit at the back door. Dog shit at my fucking back door. I'm like, why is they throwing shit at the door? And at this time, my kids in there scared. They're terrified because we don't know nobody. We don't know nobody around there. They just doing shit. You know, I never got into an argument with nobody. I never had words with nobody. Nothing in the nature. At this time, I didn't even know who the white guy was next door. I didn't know what their affiliation was or nothing. Okay? So it went from that to he's trying to remind me how I helped the guy, the maintenance guy. Okay, the maintenance guy used to come there and he did. So they stopped me. Because the maintenance guy came, he would come there and he would fix things. And sometimes I'll be at home. I'm a nice person, so he was like, he asked me for a ride one day. Okay, he had to go pick up some stuff. I think he had got a unit out there. Okay, why is all this popping up while I'm on the phone? Okay, so he had got a unit. Okay, and I helped him go. I brought him before my kids came. I helped him. Okay, cool. I helped them in and out. What I don't have you. So the man ended up getting. Sorry, y'all. This stuff is in my way. Started moving his stuff in. So he said he didn't eat. So I was like, okay, I'm a kind person. I'm gonna help him out. I gave him some food. He went and ate. He'll call me on the phone like, hey, he'll talk about sex and all this. It's just a lot of things that I wasn't interested in with the man. Okay, and he talked about it. My mind and my spirit wasn't in that area. Okay, so he came over again and I fed him. He ate his food. He smoked his weed and he left. I don't smoke. I didn't do drugs. Okay. So, during that situation, everything seemed to be fine. Okay. After a while, by me being there, the first situation was, like I stated, it was about the feces being thrown at my back door. Me and my kids in the living room, we laying down watching TV. At this time, we just pretty much getting ready to lay down and go to bed. Okay, so after that, I ended up calling the police. Okay, I called the property manager. She said she didn't see no feces or nothing at my back door. You can see feces, tomato sauce, food, all kind of shit back there. You can see it all on the back of my goddamn door. Okay? And I'm like, who would do that? like, and then it had like a top to the garbage can. I believe it was my top to my garbage can, but I put my garbage can, my black garbage can at that back door. Y'all. After that situation, um, me and the guy I ended up getting into it. I found out he did it. He was the one doing it, but somebody else threw the feces back there. Okay, and after a while, and he put like little shit on his door or whatever. He put little sticky notes and shit on the doors, like racist shit. Like, stop talking your shit, nigger this, da 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 da. Like, just saying little racist shit to me, making racist remarks. One day, me and my kids are walking to the car, and we were getting ready to leave, and he said out loud, "I'll kill you, nigger! I'll kill you, you fucking nigger! Fuck you, you fucking nigger! You fucking nigger, bitch!" And I'm like, ooh, he mad. He is mad. And I said, y'all hear that? I said, he's talking to me. He's talking to me. And I was on Bigo. I was on Bigo Live. And people was on there commenting, saying whatever. And I told my kids, just get a car, let's go. Don't pay up no mind or whatever. But I did end up calling the police while I sat in my car. I waited till the police came. I told them what happened. The only thing is that the police never answered, that never made him open the door. They never acknowledged him to open up his front door. Okay? They knew he was home. They know that he was on camera. They never made him open the door. They never made him come out and for any questioning. So basically, he never opened the door. He never acknowledged the authority. That was how he was getting away with the crimes that he was getting away with, because every time I called and he did something towards me, he never opened the door. Okay? So, this one occasion is where we ended up throwing food at each other. Okay? That's the truth. I had a pot of gumbo because I was tired of him doing shit to me. I was tired of him attacking me and shit. I believe it was a day that he stole my camera off my door. You can see everything in his apartment. That's how I knew it was him. That's how I started finding out he stole my camera. He started masturbating on me in the camera. Okay, I believe my son had the phone, and my son always have my little boy always have the phone. So I ended up checking the cameras or whatever on the phone to see where my camera was at. It was in his house. It was sitting up. I can tell you had what do you call those things? Three little clovers hanging up all over the house, all in the house. He had decorations, he had clothes and stuff, and all kind of stuff in the living room. And he was on there doing witchcraft. He was going like this to the phone. Yeah, he was doing it on the phone. He was showing me on the camera. He was letting me see. He had the shit posted. He had the camera posted up in the living room while I was standing right by the TV, or sitting down by the TV. Okay, and after that, he ended up going to the computer, and he moved the camera to the computer. Somewhere the camera got to the computer, he would go get it and set the camera there. And he had a towel, and he had some lotion, and he was you could hear him moaning, okay, on the camera. So I went to go give the proof of information about that to the police. Police never took my information. They never acknowledged it. I told the officers, I have evidence of this man with my camera in my home. And I said, he's on there masturbating. You know, tell you what that officer told me? He said, you think I want to look at somebody's masturbating? I said, what do you mean, look at it? I said, this is my proof. I ain't telling you to look at it. This is evidence for y'all to put out an arrest that he stole my camera. They never acknowledged nothing. My proof wasn't shit. That's the fucking truth. My proof, my evidence wasn't a damn thing. It didn't mean shit. But when I started to defend myself, one day I was leaving out my house, okay? I ended up sending a message to Floyd. I sent it to Floyd, and I said some shit that I probably should never say, but I was angry and I was hurt because that man did a lot to me and my children in that home. It was one time where I fell asleep, and I was asleep right. How I knew where I was sleeping at, after due time, during the process, I slept in my living room on the floor. We watched TV, had a big screen TV in the living room. So the heater was in the living room, so everybody wanted to chuckle up in the living room, okay? It had got so bad to the point where I had ended up putting my I had got a Amazon uh, little speaker. I don't know what you call it, but you Alexia, you can talk to it, and I would play music right there in that little spot because I was watching my camera. I seen where he was sitting at, but before I was sleeping in the living room in that spot, and they did witchcraft on me. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you what she said. She said after this. She said I'm not doing this no more. She should never ever have any more problems. She should get her home or something like that. She said to me in that dream. And she said, you better not get mad. And it was like he was there. His presence was there. And I got mad and I broke the glass table. Bow! And I threw it outside of a back balcony. They woke me up out of my sleep doing spell work on me. They told me that I had a home. They were telling me. Okay? And she was pissed. She wasn't pissed, but it was like she was telling me. And it's like all shit just started happening. They threw food on my front porch and all kind of shit. I threw food at her. I threw food at him. I didn't give a damn because y'all put shit on my door. Y'all don't even know me. Y'all fucking with me. So after that, the guy, one situation happened that really rubbed me the wrong way and got up under my skin was I was leaving out of my house. Me and my kids had already made it downstairs, but the man was standing there, okay, on the porch behind me. Okay, mind you, I said my kids had already walked downstairs. My kids were already downstairs. They stood there. They were looking for me to come, and the man was standing behind me. So when I noticed he was behind me, I looked. I said, okay, you better move. I'm warning you. You better move. Get out of my way. He had to put something in my lock. He was trying to distract me. He had put something in my door lock. I couldn't lock my door. And I walked outside just in time. I caught him in action. The camera that he had that was on his door, I took it and I put it and I left it in my house. Now, the evidence was in my house of the camera. When I left out the home, I left everything. I destroyed everything. I destroyed the couch. I destroyed everything. But during the process of all of this situation that went on, how would I say this? I end up, what did I end up doing? I end up macing a guy. I maced him. And he was still talking shit. I never met somebody that talked so much shit and you're bringing confidence to them. And he was just talking monk shit. You fucking nigger, bitch, I hate you. You fucking nigger, bitch, you fat fucking nigger. And I sprayed him again. He's all in the door, talking shit to me. And I go to lock my door. I couldn't lock my door. He had done put something in my lock. So he go call the police, telling the police I'm crazy, I maced him, and he's talking shit while he's talking to the police. He's standing outside his door. I'm trying to lock my fucking door and leave. So I tell my kids to come out. I couldn't leave my door open because people was already coming in, okay? And I'll get to that in a minute. And I skipped some of them because they stole my kids' cell phone. They stole all my Christmas gifts. They stole their tablets, their iPads, their cell phone. The cell phone was going back to the place. Okay? Yeah. The cell phone was, we look at the cop was standing next to us. We pull up the cell phone on my phone, on my son's phone. The cell phone was in the house, but it was the next door. He had it set in the house where we were sitting at in the house. So say for instance, you see the camera in the home, right? He got the camera sitting on one of the, how would I say this? Oh, it's like some boxes that was stacked up in the living room. He had the cell phone on one of the boxes in his living room where we were looking for the phone and in the living room with the police in there. Yeah. So it would seem like the phone was in there in a couch or underneath the couch or on the floor somewhere. Yeah. But the phone was right there in the house. But it was in his house. Okay? He stole my son's phone. Okay? And that's why I would come in the house, I would cry and pray because I knew they had to be in my house and violated me. They stole Michael Kors bags, Steve Madden shoes, Steve Madden bags, Steve Madden, what else I had? I had a lot of Steve Madden things. A whole bunch of Steve Madden purses, body bag, cross bags. I had a lot of clothes. They stole a lot of stuff from me, a lot of expensive things. And actually, I told my person about me going and get Steve Madden bag, a purse. No, not a purse, shoes. I said, well, I wish you would have told me. I would have got me some Steve Madden shoes. And them shoes came up missing and they was orange. And there was some nice shoes. Even some, I had some pink Skechers as well. They cut the shoes, they cut the shoes up too. Yeah, they cut the laces, they damaged all my shit in my house. Uh, and that was they did that on Rush Street, the apartment that I lived in, but still in all, they did the same thing there that they did at the other place, and they doing it here. Okay, so they keep just the same shit that they did here violate me here, they violate me over there, and they violate. I'm living all the way out of town, y'all. How the fuck you know where I live at? I never told you where I live at. So you working with some type of law officials, okay? Not even that. During the situation, and the police ended up getting called. It was like during this whole time, y'all. It was just the ongoing thing. I would call the police all the time on this guy, okay? And I ended up going to jail. They end up putting me in jail. They end up actually surrounding my house with guns and rifles, and the landlord was there. That was basically going to kill me and my kids. Okay? I didn't have no weapons. I didn't make no threats to the man. All I did was protecting myself. I made several police reports. I made several police calls to them, to the police department, and to my office manager. I wrote reports out to her, okay, about the situation as well. She came with the police. They came with big ass what's the names guard shields over them, like I had a weapon in my house or something. So I called the police back, and they was like, oh well, y'all just need to come out the house, this, that, and third. I said, what did we do with them? Did nothing. I said, we don't have to come out of our house. We didn't call y'all. We didn't hurt nobody. That man damaged my property. I gotta pay for whatever was done in here. So he went and told them a whole fucking lie. Said that I was armed and dangerous and I had weapons and shit. When he was the one up in there doing spell work and witchcraft on me and caused a big ass scene. So a lady that lived next door across from me, she came out with her baby, and she was basically trying to tell them, don't do that shit because that girl got a little baby in there. And my son was young. He was about, what, 6, 7, maybe, he wasn't even 7. He was maybe 6 years old. And we were in that apartment. And so they were so crooked, man. They so fucking crooked. That white man asked me, he said, well, man, he was talking to me, he said, my son was outside with me, he said, man, y'all mess with us and coming at us like we doing them something. He said, man, that man was after my mama. That man did this, that man did that, whoop, whoop, whatever. So the man did, was standing back. They didn't reveal themselves. They didn't come out. They was waiting for them to take us down. They was waiting. I'm not gonna lie to you, they was waiting. Cause, when I went there, man said, well, we're not going to do you anything, Miss Stewart. We just want to talk to you. He was like, just come downstairs and talk to us. He was like, well, you know, my son was standing right by me. And my other kids, they were scared. They were terrified. That's fucked up. They didn't even come out the house. Okay? They were really actually terrified. Okay? Because my kids witnessed it all. They knew we didn't do nothing. That's the truth. We didn't do shit wrong. I was protecting me and my kids. Okay, that man was standing up on me. I asked him to back up off of me several times. He did it. I don't know what he had in his hand, but he had something in his hand. And I think they're trying to tell me it was a bag. So they're showing me a black bag. But I didn't see no bag. I didn't look down. I didn't take my eyes off that man. I looked him dead in the face just to see if he was going to try to harm me or do something to me. Okay, so I ended up going downstairs and talking to the authority and telling them what was going on and what was happening. They were saying, well, where were you going, Mr.? I said I was going to go look at a house. Okay? And previous to that, y'all, I had made a report to MHMR services about us being about to be kidnapped. Okay? We was about to be kidnapped. We went and looked at a house. The helicopters was flying over our head. And I was in the backyard trying to look in the house. The house that I saw was on Facebook Marketplace. When we got there to put the code in and look in the house, it wasn't no code. It wasn't no box on the door for us to look in the house, okay? So that was one time, okay? That's why the officer asked me where was I going. They had already knew that was listening to my devices in my home. That's how I feel. Or the man told them, okay? And I guess they was going to try to set us up when we got to the home, I don't know. But when I went through that experience the first time, I told the people, because when we got in our car, when I got in my car to crank my car up, I had to hid under the tree. Me and my kids, my other son was in the car asleep, which is my oldest son was asleep in the car. My other kids and us, I told them, I said, come over here, stand underneath this tree. So I looked at my phone, my signal was gone. I had no signal, no nothing on my phone, okay? Nothing. Until the helicopter moved out the area, I got in my car. When I got in my car to crank my car up, nothing cranked. All the lights in the car flickered. Everything flickered. They was shutting my car down. So when I did it again, my car cranked. When I got so far up the street, I saw a white man in a white bed, pulling up, and he was looking at me slowly. When I looked back at the houses, they had like little metal things on top of their houses, like they were I don't know what you call it, but it was some type of things on their house. It was like maybe every other house or every two houses. I knew it was something. It was something to do with the service or with the heat connects or something like that. I knew that, and I was like, oh, they were trying to kidnap us. And ever since then, I was just being very, very cautious. Okay, so I feel like they got back to the authority. Okay, so it went from that to this situation that I'm talking about me going downstairs talking to the police. So the police says to me, oh, where were you going, Miss Stewart? I said, I was going to look for a house. He said, what brought us here today? This man said he did this, that, and the third to him. I said, well, the man was standing behind me. I said, when I walked out, my kids was already had made it downstairs. I said, when I was turned around to lock my door, I looked at my kids and I looked at the guy and not knowing he was there. And I said, get from behind me. No, I didn't say get from behind me. I said, get out of my way. Get out of my way. Move out of my way if I mace you. I told him several times to move out of my way if I mace you. He didn't move. He just stood there. So I stood back and I maced him, but he was distracting me because he put something in my door lock. And it locked, whatever he put in there, my door didn't lock. So he put something in there to break my lock in my house, for I wouldn't lock my door in my house. Okay, so it went from that to me. They reminded me and said, "Oh, you skipping the whole part," because I recorded. They were telling me to open the door. The police was standing there like they were projecting in my home. In the video, you can see her in the video standing in the cone. They were like, I don't know what you call them. They don't feel like they were humans. I'm just gonna tell you that, not the way that they were acting, but that was a whole nother situation that happened that they did that. So it was the situation with me standing downstairs talking to the police. I explained to him what was going on. He said, well, me and my family just bought a house. And we don't know if we're going to get it or not. He said, what do you think? I said, if you everything is good for you on your end, God should bless you with that house or whatnot have you. And I started noticing that other people, it's done on me now that other people will always talk about them buying a house or purchasing a house. They were telling me, but I wasn't awakened to understand. But now I know. So back to what I was stating. So the guy was like, okay, Mr. We're going to put you under arrest for assaulting him. I said, assaulting, I never touched him. I said, he was putting something in my lock. And I said, I asked him to move away from me. So they put me under arrest. Okay, and then that man, my son, was mad and pissed off because they're like, y'all letting this man get away with all this shit that he done to this lady, to my mama, and y'all didn't do nothing about it. And they didn't. They didn't. They didn't even question why they had him outside of his home watching me being arrested. They didn't even question him about the other crimes that he had done made. You damaging my property by throwing food and shit on my back door. They didn't question him for none of this shit. They didn't bring that shit up. They arrested me, and CPS came. I go to jail. I'm in jail for maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe. I don't even remember, but I was in there. And while I was in there, I believe one of the neighbors, ladies, came down and gave me her number and was like, hey, if you need anything, just call me and I have one on the phone, this, that, and the third. I'll look out for your kids, this, that, and the third. My kids didn't really like them people. They didn't know them people. You know, my kids don't really deal with nobody. We wasn't there long enough for that bullshit to happen to us. And that was really fucked up. And it was fucking disrespectful. It was foul. We was racially profiled. Racially profiled. What we reported was overlooked. And it was quite disgusting. Fucking disgusting. Sick. So in that moment, they're arresting me. My kids are crying and fighting with the cops. They wrestling with the cops not to arrest me, and they screaming and hollering and crying. And they go upstairs. Okay, they end up going upstairs. CPS people end up coming or whatever. They arrest me, and the man trying to manhandle me and this, that, third. These police knew that shit wasn't right. So the cop that was trying to mistreat me or trying to harm me, they made that lady or that guy, I think it was a guy or whatever, or that lady, they made her move out the way. Because at that point, she was doing too much. She was doing too much to me. And I wasn't arguing. I wasn't feuding. I said, why are you handling me like that? I'm not doing, I'm not resisting. I'm not doing none of that. I said, you're doing too much. And the other guy knew it. He saw what she did. He walked her, he escorted her away. Okay? And the sarge escorted her away too. Okay? And they got me in the car. And I get in the car or whatever, and they give me all the information that I need or whatever. I go get it booked in and all this other stupid ass, irrelevant, wrongdoing ass shit, falsely, a false arrest. That's exactly what that was, a false fucking arrest. Okay? And during this situation, y'all, all of them comes out. The landlord, her husband, her kid, everybody started coming out. People in the apartment complex, they all started coming out when I got in that cop car. So my kids was outside, all came outside or whatever. So while my kids was outside, they told my kids to go in the house. They're gonna call CPS to, come there and do whatever they have to do or whatever. But my son was old enough to stay in the house. Okay, at this time I done made it to jail. I'm in jail. Not booking, but I'm in the cell. I don't know what's going on with my kids. I end up, panicking in jail, just going through emotional distress in jail. I remember a moment where I'm sitting in jail and I'm just like, Lord, what's going on with my kids? I can't contact my children. What's going on? I'm praying. I'm just trying to keep the faith. But they got people in the jailhouse attacking me too, doing spell work at me too in jail. Okay? And at that moment, they were like people were getting in fights and shit. They were praying on people. It was a lot of fucking demonic, satanic ass shit that was going on. People praying on people. I'm sitting there looking at these people. They praying on people in jail to fight. Yeah. Just attacking each other and don't give a damn. So during this time and while all this shit is going on, that telling us to go in the room, I'm like, I ain't going in there. I'm not about to be, no, I'm not. I'm not going in the room. And, at this time, they go get the warden and everybody. I'm like, y'all gonna get who y'all want to get. Like, it don't even matter to me. Like, I'm in here for no motherfucking reason. Like, I'm not going through this shit. This shit ain't right. Shit ain't right. So, during this process, inmate Shamar comes in and I explain to them what's going on. I let them know, hey, my kids are left at home by themselves. I don't know where my kids at. I just want to know if my kids okay. I want to know if the CPS work with come and check on my kids, where my kids at. If I can get an understanding of what's going on with my kids, these people wouldn't have a problem with me. I couldn't make a call while I was in there. I didn't have access to anything or to make a phone call while I was there without having to make a payment or having a free phone call. I didn't have nobody to fucking contact. No, it was no help. I had no fucking help. They violated me in every fucking way they did. And they knew that shit was foul. They knew that shit was foul. They knew that shit was fucking foul. It was wrong. It was fucking dead ass wrong. And I want my fucking justice for that fuck shit. It was wrong as hell. So when I went through that shit, that was a humiliation ritual. You fucking humiliated me, you bitches. And you gonna fucking pay for every fucking thing you brought me through. And I'm not fucking playing. Because you lied on me. They lied on me about my kids. They lied to my children about me as well. Let me, this guy calm, but y'all, I went through some wrong ass shit. They treated me like I wasn't nothing. Like I was the shit. They came out their ass like I wasn't nothing. And that's the divine fucking truth. And when I went through that fucking bullshit, I ended up talking to the people. The caseworker ended up coming down there. She said, well, Miss Stewart, she said, the kids need to know where the rent money is and this, that, and the third. So I go to my car. When I tell her to have my son to go to my car, my rent money, my money order was, I had just went to the store. I believe I had went to the store previously to the store for my babies and got some snacks from, I think it's, not Bit Lots, but, I can't call the name of the store where you get big quantities of stuff from the store. I went got a big box of snacks or whatnot for my kids, and I didn't get any groceries because I was in the midst of doing all of that while this shit was going on. So I had already had my money order for my rent. So I told her to tell my son to go to my car, and the money order was in the glove compartment in the car, and that he can get it and he can pay the rent. He paid the rent. Everything else was taken care of. She had to come. No, I think they asked where my car was or my wallet or something was there. I believe I left my purse was at home, so they had the cars to go get some food or whatever. I was in there a little bit too long, so they done ate up everything. So the lady ended up coming back to the CPS place, and she said that the man next door was harassing my kids. He was beating on the wall. He was beating on the wall to the point where he started scaring the kids in the house. Okay, basically attacking my children using spell work. Okay, and the lady said that the kids would be up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, playing music loud and talking loud and screaming loud or whatever. She said she had to go over there 1 or 2 times to tell them to calm down, but they were trying to tune that man out. I know it. Because if he was attacking me and I'm a grown ass woman, I know he was doing the same thing. Especially the CPS worker got to come to the place and tell me about it. Okay, my son had to, be up all night to watch over his brothers. He told me that. Not him, but the caseworker said Wilson stay up at all during the night to watch his brothers. Okay, he said he put the couch in front of the door where nobody would come in and bother them. He said after he did that, he said he'll make sure the kids go to sleep or whatever. He'll walk to the store and get the kids food if they need anything. All right. And he's like, okay. He was like, I made sure nobody mess with my brothers or whatever. And he said, he said I could do the best that I can. He said, but the guy was beating on the wall. They said the guy was beating on the wall and all this other shit. And she said she knocked on the door and she told him, because he called CPS and made a false report on my kids. And she was already working that case. And this was a woman that was of authority because she don't play about her job and her position, because she was there taking care of her business and doing her job. And he made a false report, not on her, but towards my kids and me as a mother. Tapping with evidence and proof on a CPS case, making false reports on top of an open case already. She dressed that man and she told him if he messed with my kids again or harassed my kids again, she was going to get him for attacking with the CPS case. Never heard another problem. All of a sudden, my kids calling family members to come and get them. Now, the lady next door, I had them be in contact with her. She said she checked on them. She make sure they got these people who come to bring them food, doing this and that for them. I said, okay. Tell everybody, I said, thank you for helping me and my children or whatever. And when I got ready to come home, she said the kids was getting ready to leave. It was family members that came out there to see me to help my kids or whatever. They had got in touch with my cousin, with my baby daddy's sister, which is Vanessa. They got in touch with her, and she brought her son, which is Ricky Zeno, to go get my kids, and Courtney to go get my kids. She came and got my kids. My kids was with her. I got out the next day. Okay, when I got out, I think something went on around that time that I got out. I'm not sure what all had transpired. I don't know. I got in a car accident. I was going to pick up my kids. Um, and I'm going to tell you guys what happened. So I'm on the phone with my baby daddy's sister or whatever, and I'm telling to her or whatnot or what have you, and I'm telling her, well, I want to go get some groceries. I'm going to do this and that, for the kids. So when they get home, I won't have a problem or whatever. And she was like, oh, okay. I said, well, why they not answering the phone? I'm calling for them. They up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning playing basketball outside. Like, what the hell is going on? My kids don't even be outside at 3 or 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. Like, they need to be in the house. I don't play that shit. So, it went from that to, she was trying to call, telling me, if they're all right, if you want the kids, just call them and tell them to bring the kids, or I'm going to call them and tell them to bring your kids. I said, well, hold on. Don't bring them just yet. I'm going to the grocery store and go get some groceries for my kids. So when they come home, the house will be clean and straight. But then when they come home, they don't have some food. So I was leaving from my house to go do that. And when I left, and I was getting ready to leave, I noticed they had a car waiting. Had a white car waiting. Okay? And no shit, no shade. This lady was waiting on me and this man in this car. I believe the lady was driving. Okay? They were using spell tactics on me. Okay? But I know I'm anemic too. So I don't know what I really actually felt. It's honest to say, they was doing spell work on me. It's just simple point blank as that. It don't take a rocket science to figure this shit out. Okay? Like, it just don't. So it went from them doing spell work on me to me actually going through this phase where I'm leaving out the like I parked my car because they would always tow my car, or somebody would always tamper with my car. Something was going always wrong, so I would park my car across from the apartments, out of the apartment complex on the side of the fucking streets. Okay? Not in my parking stall, not in my unit. This is how they organize crimes, by people in the office that they were getting to run and create conflict with me with my car because they towed my car. When I first got the car, they towed the car. We come outside to go to the store, get something to eat. My car gone. We called the police station. We went through all kind of shit trying to get my fucking car back. Okay? So it went from that to me actually calling the police, having the lady that I purchased the car from to come down there and call the people and actually bringing me to get the car. And I'm spending monies to go get a car that I didn't have to spend. This is this fuck shit that they were doing. I'm like barely, I'm not taking up 2 spots, okay? I'm barely at the end of a stall. They pulled my car. Cause my tire is on the yellow mark. It's not all the way in somebody else's lane. It's in a yellow mark. It's on the line. Okay? The back tire on the line. And they took my car. Ain't never seen these people come out there, these tow trucks come out there for no fucking reason whatsoever. Never ever seen them. Much as I come out when I had my first car, I ain't never had a problem. But all of a sudden, my car gone. Soon as I get it. Hold on. So I'm leaving. I get ready to leave. I have to park my car across the street because they kept towing my car. So I park my car across the street. I'm leaving from my apartment, going across the street to get in my car, right? So I get in the car. I notice the 2 people, the white car, sitting there waiting for me. Okay, I don't pay them no mind. I'm not recording. I end up seeing the police on the other side, like they were waiting and watching too. Never said nothing, never opened my mouth. Okay, during that time, y'all, I end up going to pull out. And I don't know whether like they will warn me or cast a spell on me. Or as I was leaving, a car came out of nowhere and just ran in the front end of my tire. My driver tire, or it wasn't my back tire. I think it was my front driver tire. Hit the fuck out of me. It hit me so hard, it hit the car behind me, got hit too. And they were hit too. So they were pulling off right behind me, but I'm not noticing that. They were waiting for me. They were right behind me and they got hit. Okay? And when I got hit, I didn't see them until, how would I say it, until like I was leaving out. when I was leaving out, going across, it was like I was like the car just came out of nowhere. It was flying though. It was going real fast and it hit me and it totaled my whole car out. I'm in the car, literally waiting. Well, I'm hit, and it had the belt strap cut me. Okay, I had a big wrap across my breast and my chest, and because I had got hit and I guess went forward or whatever, and I felt dazed. Okay, but that's on top of the spell work that they were doing to me. So as I proceeded to go on, y'all, when I got hit, it was organized. Okay, when the people hit me, they had another Mexican lady drive up. She got the car. She started doing the same thing I did. She started praising the devil. She started doing a little devil dance. I'm gonna tell you what I did. This is what I did when I found out that lady had got released off of the job for leaving her wallet, her bank card in my house trying to set me up. And I called and I reported her and they let her go. I did like this. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. All up in the building. Okay? But I wasn't all over the building. I was in that room. So that let me know that y'all was watching me. They were watching me through the glass. And I was thanking God that they let her go because she was trying to give me hell to get my keys back. So I praise God. And this Mexican woman got her car. They pulled over. And she started praising God. I ain't gonna say praising God. She started praising Satan. She mimicked me. I watched her. Right hand to God. God can take me right now. God can take me right now. I won't tell you no lie. She was praising God. And if that police was still right there, he would have saw the same motherfucking thing. But we talking about white people. We talking about white people, organized crimes. Okay? This was the white lady and my people behind the scenes operating. Setting up to try to kill me. And ever since then, they started, I went to the hospital. Okay? I went to the hospital. They put, my neck was hurting. They put a neck brace on me. After they put the neck brace on me, they told me that they had to admit me to give me blood. I had sickle cell anemia. My blood levels was real low. So they had to give me blood. Okay, they would give me blood and they had to put the IV or something in my arm. So I don't know, it felt like to me they were trying to drain my heart. Okay, I kept feeling like my heart being drained. And he took the IV out my hand and he put it like an IV all the way deep in my arm. Okay, in this arm, and I still got the little deep scag right there in my arm where he placed that needle at, with a IV at, and he put something long in my arm, and he said, well, that should work. And ever since then, I kind of felt, I said, no, I don't feel right. I said, this thing feel like it's draining my heart or something. I didn't feel right. So he ended up taking it out. Okay, and during that time, and I'm calling, checking up on my kids, seeing how my kids doing or whatever. And I told my kids, y'all need to get ready to come home. I said, because the lady need to see y'all. And whatnot, or have you. I think she was supposed to come that Sunday or whatever. So she ended up bringing my baby daddy daughter-in-law, which is Courtney. She ended up bringing my kids home. And I said, y'all don't even know those people. I said they were mad because, how would I say, they were mad because I said, them people ain't no good for y'all. I said, y'all don't even know them. I said, y'all trying to stay at somebody's house. Y'all not going to bring nobody our problems. You're not going to bring my problems to somebody else's house. That's what we're not going to do. We're going through a situation. We're going to stick together. And my kids were just upset. And I told it to to Vernon, which is my son, and he ran away. He ran out. They were telling my kids that them people was going to kill us. They told my kids all kind of shit. Okay? They had my kids to lie on me and say that I was fucking crazy. I was talking about the devil this, the devil that. And I'm sitting up here during these times listening to gospel music. I'm into God. So what the fuck I'm taking some damn energy for? What I'm going to be praising the devil for, talking about the devil for? But this is the type of shit that they put into my kids and made them lie on me. I'm going to tell you the fucking truth and shame the devil. Okay? My kids were scared of these people. They felt intimidated. They either felt the witchcraft that they were doing, or they felt miscomfort or misunderstood in whatever what was going on. Okay? Now, during this timing, these people was watching them. Okay, CPS was telling me they was watching them. The kids was being up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning outside playing basketball, this, then, and third. They had people watching their houses. Okay, and what I was saying, they knew I wasn't lying. So every time I go to court and appeal to the front of the judge would say, "Oh, we're going to give them another 30 days to go and what he told them to get their system clean." How y'all don't even give me 30 days to even get my system clean. So you telling me every 30 days I gotta bring my ass back up here to get my kids removed out these people home and get my kids son back to me? When I do a drug test, y'all be ready to snatch my kids out my household? So you telling me that it's okay for them to be drugged on drugs in front of my kids, and now when they drug test, what they end up doing was drug testing my children, and all my kids came back with THC in their system. But I'm a mama, and I'm the habitual liar, and I'm the crazy one, and I'm the one that don't understand life, reality, and the comings and goings and do's and don'ts, and I'm the one that's breaking all the rules and not following the rules or proper calls to take actions on situations that evolve like this one. But I'm the problem, though. I'm the one with the issue. I'm the one that abandoned my kids and misled my children and led them to harm and danger. And y'all removed my kids and brought them all through harm and danger and showed them what life really looked like when I was trying to protect them about how life looked. Y'all didn't even give me a chance to even raise my kids. That's just clear the air. Y'all didn't give me a chance to even be a full mother, to be there for my kids in times that they go through when y'all stepped in. Y'all didn't give me a chance to sow on my children, to let them know about real life. Y'all didn't give me that. Y'all took that, stole that shit from me for all these false reports. Y'all stole all that shit from me. Every time I went in front of them judges, they, another 30 days. Now when they don't come back with the urine tests from all the children, we can start studying, we can start doing research on the removal. Now the kids got to stay another 20, 30 days because nobody don't know where they're going to go. Now you don't want me to have my children. For what probable cause? Y'all don't have one because y'all knew I was leaving. They knew I was leaving. They knew my bags was packed. Then they saw boxes. My baby daddy, sister and them saw boxes in there. And I don't even necessarily point her out to be the one to be a victim of anything. It was the people that was coming in my home saw that I was packing up. The school even came to my house asking for my child. Who asked for somebody's child? These people are knocking on my door asking for my sons. Why is my son's not in school? Excuse me? Why are you here? Schools don't come to your house and ask you why your kids are not in school. They call you, hey, such and such have missed 30 days. We're just calling to get a follow-up. When you come, bring him an excuse why he wasn't here. That's normal. No school don't pop up at your house asking you where your son at. Unless you got plans. Thank you. No, it ain't no thank you. Not in this. I don't appreciate it. Not at all. It was foul. Disrespectful. See, when the deep truth start prevailing, people want to run away and then they want to prevail. Oh, thank you. This, no. That shit right there, no. Because see, when you start telling the deep truth about the schoolhouses, they want to run away when shit get real deep. But it was all false reports. You lied on me. Lied on me and said that I abused my kids and put my kids in harm's way, misleading my kids, hurting my kids. You lied on me. Now I want to see where this gang stalking and this trolling shit, I want to see where this type of shit falls into play. Because as soon as my kids went into foster care, I'm going to say less than a year, my son was already adopted. And that's my little son. In the state of Texas, it takes 2 years for a child to be in a system to be up for adoption. You broke Texas state law. Y'all made it seem like I was a badass parent when y'all was trying to kill me. Everybody ran into my car, ran me off the road, did all kind of shit. I think this is about the second time I made this video. Now y'all got some truth, but y'all didn't know where it started and how it started because Flora got the pictures. Oh, she said she do too. So that's what I was thinking about all this. I remember a lady speaking out and she said, all these people, she said, y'all know y'all wrong for that. That girl just got them kids in a month ago. So prior to my case being closed with the Decatur CPS providers, by that case being closed there, you turned around and you opened up a case prior to that on a false report. And y'all knew it was false and they still came to my home. Still came to my home, knowing it was a false report. I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't do drugs. My kids wasn't being beaten, they wasn't being neglected, they wasn't being left behind in school or anywhere. Y'all just wanted to control. Y'all had my family members and my person had people in the cahoots working the system to control my life with my children. You did too much. You did way too much. And I need people to try to kill me out there. And I'm going to tell you what she said. Telepathically told me. I was at a friend of mine's house and I ended up calling him. And I said, if I go out there, I'm not going to have no help. Ask me help. I said, would you support me? I said, what is what we do? He said, no, what it was. That's what he said to me. When I finally made my mind to come out there, I ended up going to jail. Okay, that man set up jail. I had to go to jail. He was setting things up, setting plots. They were falsely, somebody was wrecking my car. Damaging my head. I lost everything. When I was in jail, I ain't had shit in that damn car. Not a goddamn thing. I had the whole car. And while I'm in jail, they talking about, oh, we owe her. They owe me what? What you owe me? What you gave me wasn't even what you took. It didn't matter to nothing that these people took from me. It didn't align with nothing that you took. Because they damaged my car, they felt like, oh, well, we can give her back her car. But my money paid a down payment for that car. I paid monthly payments for that car. How you owe me? You never paid me what you owed me. They never gave me what they owed me. It's what you stole, what you was trying to take from me was already mine. And that's what y'all don't want to admit. But now the whole collaboration is crashing. You want to punch your fingers at me. You want to keep attacking me, integrating me. When y'all said shop on me and my children. And think that I should be sitting here being humble about what y'all did, like it's okay. Shit was foul. It was foul. I want all of those reports to be brought up. Every last false report that was brought up on me about my children. I want that shit. And I shouldn't dare have to fight for my own fucking children off of y'all false reports. Y'all had police testifying against me. It's all in the case. Y'all brought, what was that little thing y'all brought? Hold on, y'all. This thing just popped up on my phone. I ain't never got so much text messages a day in my life on this phone. Never. They don't want that truth to get out. They want to limit the truth. They don't want all the truth to be standing out. Okay? So, due to this situation, with me getting my kids back or whatever, I had to get documentations from the courts in Fort Worth about my case to how I try to hire a lawyer or whatnot or help you to help me. Okay, I got the documents, okay? During this process that I got these documents, they had, I think it was around December or something like that, They showed me where what is it? The green thing, the Grinch. So it was basically putting the Grinch in my face, telling me that they stole my Christmas. They stole my kids. This all rituals, satanic rituals that they revealed on me, that they rubbed in my face. Not alone spiritually, how they were celebrating, how they were torturing me, celebrating in the spiritual realm, running me out of my home while I laid on the side of the road in my car while it's freezing outside. It's in the 20s. CPS caseworker calling me, begging me to go back home. I'm trying to avoid conflict with the neighbor upstairs, beating and causing chaos, I'm talking about picking up the couch. Did you fucking hear me? Pick up the couch, dropping that motherfucker while I'm asleep. I'm jumping up out my sleep, thinking something happened, thinking something going on. Just imagine it like that. Just imagine waking up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning hearing that shit. Trying to come home, trying to relax, and all you hear is kids just running up and down the hallway, screaming, yelling, throwing things, catching a fit. No respect. And then turn around and the people attack you. And then you go to jail for somebody assaulting you with a Coca-Cola bottle. Beat me in the arm. And the police arrest me. Not let alone, but attack me. There were evidence in there was a whole camera in my unit. Ask them where it went. That's evidence all around there. They had a man that was living there and they dragging me like I'm a dog. Like I was a piece of shit. Stealing paperwork and CPS documents out of my car. And these reports I've made, I still got the case numbers. I still got all of that. I still got all the case numbers of all these accidents that I'm talking about. That's why they can't hide and lie about it. Because I got the case numbers. I got the police's names. So, I hope y'all ready for what's next. I hope y'all ready for what's next. I just got to know God with me because, you know, this is a whole fucking book story. Beyond a book story, this is a book, a movie, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. I mean, this is all up to 13 years, if you ask me. All over a home. It's more about a home, baby. Nobody would go through that much about a home. This is about some inheritance. This is about family members putting in life insurance policy, not probably just on me, but on my kids. Y'all put life insurance policies out on me. Some of y'all have been took off these life insurance policies. Okay? Because if you didn't have a life insurance policy, why you get these people to run me over in my car? Run me over and hit my car and wreck in my car. Damaging my car. And then, y'all, when I purchased the car to come home, I turned around and ended up going to jail after I purchased the car because the people that I was living with, they had them to turn on me too. And the lady was telling me the whole time, you need to get new friends. I couldn't even blame the lady. I ain't never spoke about the lady because I know the lady did wasn't wrong. I know she didn't have nothing to do with that. She was advising me. She was the most blissful help I ever had in my motherfucking entire life. And I still love you, baby. I still love you. That lady cried for me. That's how I know. That lady really cared about me. That lady, I remember one day I got off of work. I was working at that job, and they didn't even give me a paycheck. They didn't give me a paycheck at that job. I worked for almost 2 months at that job and didn't get one paycheck. I had to call the police for my paycheck. The police had to have him to give me a paycheck, and that's when the people start riding around watching me. Some type of I don't know if it was a trafficking ring or a kidnapping ring. I don't know, but I remember the lady having a long neck and she had short hair, and she followed me till I got all the way to where I live at, till I got off the exit. And ever since then, that's when CPS was heavy in my life. That man had them people to target me over my motherfucking paycheck. Let alone me praying for them people in advance or whatever was going on. Because when my kids came, I wasn't even working at that job no more. There you guys have it. I know you ain't got to tell me. They telling me, yeah, she got a case. We all knew that. Everybody knew that. Your actions not acting, and not your actions to the case. It's not even prevailing. It's like fuck you and your case, and that's what I'm going to give right back. Fuck you and your feelings. Okay, you lied on me. You made those false reports and got my kids took it from me.